It's the after talk.
After Crossroads.
It is the after
What's
talk.
up? I'm meeting
After Crossroads.
What's up?
After Crossroads.
It's the after talk, y'all.
It's the after talk.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Hello, hello, and how are you doing? Welcome to Onward Presents our meeting at the Crossroads Music Series, After Talk. Now, the After Talk is where we actually get a chance to go back a little bit and focus in on some of the interviews that we had earlier in the year with some of the artists. So sit back, relax, snap on the seatbelt, do whatever you got to do, grab some popcorn because we're about to get nitty gritty and get a little bit around the edges of things, if you know what I mean. Master vocalist, singer extraordinaire, Anomaly are some of the names that are used to define our next artist. Mike Hammond, direct from Hollis, Queens, by way of Newark, New Jersey. Give it up once again for Mike Hammond, y'all. Okay, we back for part 2 with Mike Hammond. I know the last part 1 with Cody Jenkins was definitely funny, definitely funny and informative at the same time. But we started off talking about what his drink of choice was, which was Shinerbach. And at that time, I was drinking Bird Dog Black Cherry Whiskey. Well, I'm still kind of on that a little bit, but I did mention before, and I'm going to mention again. I'm going to do a little plug. Snoop Dogg got his drink out. That's my homie. Not my personal homie. I really don't know him. I've never really met him. Maybe shook his hand once in my life, and it was in passing. But no, he has out Cali Red with 19 Crimes. Now, see, 19 Crimes is one of my wine of choices. It's 19 Crimes and Apothic Red. Apothic Red, I get the like the Inferno, anything above 14%. But this Cali Red is 14.1, so it's teeter-tottering a little bit, Snoop. But I'm still trying to do you some justice here. And it's actually a smooth taste, man. I really like it, man. It got a little sweet aftertaste. You know, it's like that little cherry grape type after bite, so to speak. But I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. I don't know how Crip deals with Cali Red. Crip dealing with Cali Red. I don't really know. I won't speak on it anymore, but I'll just leave that there for you. But I'm digging the wine. I'm digging the wine. So I ain't judging. And I have no problems with this situation. Right now, we're dealing with Mike Hammond, music and vocalist extraordinaire. No humility on this guy at all. But he's a drinker too. He's a drinker too. I don't think he drinks the dark like I do, the whiskey. And I definitely don't think he drinks the beer like Cody with the Shinerbach. I think the last time I saw Mike Hammond with a beer bottle or can, it wasn't beer. I thought it might have been beer, and it was cider. Woo! But what is Mike Hammond drinking on right now these days? Let's tune in and see what this cat has mixed up in his cup. Let's see. We shall see. You drinking anything?
I am. I'm drinking a strong ass drink out of me. Oh, wait, is this a PG show? Wait.
No, it's not PG, but it
Okay,
ain't. I have to. Yeah, we let's say PG-13.
How about a rated R? Can we get a rated R?
No, because I got to see the script first.
Damn.
Well, cheers to you, brother. Cheers to you.
So wait, PG-13 mean only a little bit of cursing, a little bit of vulgarness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers. You said you made a strong ass drink. What kind of drink is it?
It just tastes like vodka and ice with a little coloring in it.
What's the coloring?
It's supposed to be cherry cranberry juice.
You sure it's not cherry cranberry liqueur? You done mix liquor with liquor?
Maybe.
I've been in your crib before, so I know that liquor stash is deep.
Listen.
And that crack tea that you make.
Listen. Grown ass man habits.
I hear that. Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from, I can't even talk now, too much drink. I'm originally from Hollis, Queens. Yeah. Hollis, Queens, born and raised. Yeah, grew up in that.
Did you know any of those people as a child? Like, I know you were a kid when some of these people were like, I don't know, moving and grooving.
Yeah. I grew up with Jam Master Jay. Jam Master Jay I lived on one side of 203 and he lived on the other side of 203.
Okay.
So we grew up knowing each other. Running DMC, they were all in Hollis. DMC lived an avenue over, but down a little bit. I don't remember Joe being in Hollis much, but Russell lived in Hollis.
Okay.
LL Cool J lived in Farmers, which was a neighboring town of Hollis.
Okay.
Who else? A lot of jazz musicians.
Yeah.
You know, Tom Brown was from my area. Musicians like Omar Hakeem,
yeah,
drummer.
Yeah.
He's from Hollis. There's so many. I could go on.
The list is going. Yeah. Well, so I'll take that back. Not just a heavy hip hop scene; it's a heavy music scene. Period.
Yeah, it was just musicians were everywhere. I mean, you could go, like in the summertime, bands would jam in the park. And me being little, I always wanted to jam with the teenagers. I didn't want to hang with the kids. They didn't interest me.
Now, this brother's from deep in the heart of Queens, so I don't know where he gets that vodka and that little cherry sweetie mix thing from with his drink, because I know they drink a little bit heavier there, but we're going to let him have that, y'all. But like part one, with part two, we want to talk a little bit about these vocals, what these vocals are doing. I mean, nothing's happening on my end except for speaking. So I want to see what other singers are doing or what they have done, how they came about with their sound and with their voice. I mean, and with Mike Hammond, he's such a beast of a vocalist. His range is impeccable, but at the same time, he's not humble about it. And he has no shame about it. So I have no shame about giving him a little bit of shade towards that lack of humility. But with that, he stands behind his voice. He supports it. He knows what he has. And he holds his own. So there's no argument there. He's going to outsing most people that step up to the plate. He's always ready. He's always up to bat, and he's ready to hit a home run. So we definitely have to hear about Mike Hammond's voice and where it comes from and what it does and how it stretches, because I'm hearing this brother hit notes from as low as a bass to as top as a soprano. And I want to know how his voice does what it does. How you do what you do? Let me in. Tell me about it.
Now, did you start off performing and singing as a kid, or did it come later?
As a kid, at 3.
At 3,
okay. I started singing at 3. It's funny because I sang in church, and right after church, my aunt took me to her house and taught me the Jackson 5 song. So really? I had that split of R&B gospel thing, and sometimes I knew I wanted to be an R&B singer. Sometimes I would slip up and sing "Baby" in church, because I knew where I was going.
I did that too. I got kicked out of that choir.
Yeah, they didn't kick me out. They just kept trying to correct me, but it just didn't work.
You like baby Jesus.
Jesus.
They stopped calling that song.
They said we're gonna call something else, something that's lyric heavy. So and you pretty much kept that same range because you still sing up there in the soprano rafters.
Yeah, I think I learned how to breathe it differently at an early age.
Okay.
Because once your voice starts changing, where it comes naturally, you have to train it so it's more of a head voice, but then you have to stretch your range so that the head and the actual chest can actually meet and you don't see the break. You don't hear the break in your
almost
voice.
Like a strong mix.
Yeah, it's definitely a strong mix.
Yeah.
So it's something that you work at.
Now, were you knowledgeable of that technique at that time, or were you kind of just falling into certain grooves and then learned a little bit more about it later?
I was always one for listening.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, I would listen to certain singers and how they would sing and where it was coming from, because I realized that everybody wasn't singing from the same place.
Mm-hmm.
So I was big on hearing that and trying to figure out where it came from, trying to emulate where it was coming from. And then I realized the different sides of my voice and where I needed to breathe from. So
okay,
that's it.
Hence the title Master Vocalist. I understand. I get you. What I was saying was to you and to them, what we know your voice to be live when you're doing covers and band gigs, concerts, or musicals or whatnot is completely different from the Mike Hammond experience as far as your recording and your music. Can you speak on why there is maybe a Gemini effect here where you're two different people? Or is that just, I don't know. I mean, I'll let you speak on it first before I get, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Well, I thank you. It's all about, for me, I can only speak for me, but it's about the mood for me. A lot of stuff that I write, the stories that I write and the melodies that I'm on, it doesn't call for the push or the aggressiveness of a song, so I pull it back a lot, as to, going live and singing somebody else's song where they may be aggressive, the audience sees something totally different. So I'm just hoping that they enjoy both and I can put both of them together and they'll just allow me that time.
I know I have. And I think, it was different for me and the experience that I had with you because I obviously met you doing a musical where we all had to sing a certain type of way. We can only bring but so little of ourselves into these roles.
Yeah, and plus the sound guys suck, so we had to push a lot.
Hey! Exactly. And some people came to the production pushing before the sound guy even got.
Come on with the yelling.
We won't go. But with that being said,
you're gonna provoke me. You're gonna provoke me for real.
I mean, you had a lot of natural belters, and I don't know if that was a technique for them. It was just,
I can't call that natural.
I know it was naturally loud. We know a lot of singers that just sing loud, but we won't bring all of them up. Maybe some of them.
You know what it is? I think that people, it starts in the audition, right? And you're in an empty room, and for some reason in people's minds, they feel like I want my voice to ring in this room so they'll hear me and stuff. But in all actuality, you are kind of really scaring the auditioners.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Next.
Yeah, because if anybody knows singers, you're not going to do that 8 shows a week.
Yeah.
You're going to be good for 5, and then you're going to be out for 2.
Yeah.
If that.
And that was happening even on our tour.
Yeah.
I mean, and we know my whole experience and journey through the show that we were doing, but when I was taken down off of my throne of what I thought I was being a natural bass, I went back into baritone tenorland. But changing to that and having to be a swing as for some of those characters, we knew that a lot of people actually did experience that unfortunate degree of separation, so to speak. And this is what put me back on stage a lot more than I thought I would be, because I didn't even have an idea what a swing was. That was my first time ever swinging, and I was out at the bar. And
yeah, you are.
This is cell phones have been around, but it wasn't like how we use them now.
Exactly.
I got a little text on my phone, and I'm like, I'm backstage. I'm like, texting back for what? Such and such is out of the show. But why? Stop asking questions and come. Like, all right. And come back then. She's like, you smell like pure cognac. Because that's what I was drinking. I ain't working today. It's what I thought. I didn't know it was like I'm on call like a doctor,
Exactly. That's exactly what you are.
But I learned very fast. But all that being said is we know that, a lot of people did do that as a unfortunate technique or whatever, however it transferred from audition room to stage. But perfect. So all that to be said, you said you found the different nuances of how you want things to be perceived based on your recording, based on what maybe is being asked of you to do or whatnot. I was just, listening to that because out of us coming from Smokey Joe's doing that show, I then went into every now and then being able to do a few gigs with you, singing background for you. And I'm listening to the music and I'm listening to you perform. I'm like, this ain't what he was sounding like the other day.
See, because in Smokey's, I wasn't allowed to use my sexy. In my show, I could use my sexy.
Oh, Jesus.
Say what?
That's what I was doing. For real. I mean, I'm not Teddy Pendergrass.
Turn them off!
What the hell is that?
No, that's my lane. That's my lane.
That's you. That's you all day. That's my dude.
Well, there you go. There you go. There you have it. And you heard it here. You see what the brother said. The master vocalist himself, Mike Hammond. So, like I told you, he holds no punches. There's no humility there. But he knows what he's talking about. And he knows what he does. And I guess he knows how to do it. So.
Blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Get off the stage!
We're going to keep on keeping on. Make sure you guys check in with us a little bit later on. We got more artists and more stories and more topics to bring up. Maybe y'all have a question. Send us a little message. If it's good, send it straight to me, Darren Lorenzo, D-Lo, that is. If it's bad, send it to somebody else. I really care not. Because we're going to be here regardless for the time limit that we chose to be here. But we do thank you for tuning in and hanging out with us with our two artists, Cody Jenkins and Mike Hammond, talking about The Voice, talking about drinks, talking about our journey through this pandemic that we have to exist through. I hope everybody's doing good, and I hope whatever you're doing it well. Doing it and doing it and doing it well. Hey, doing it and doing it and doing it well. He represents Queens. Cody was raised down in Fort Worth. I'm from Atlanta, y'all. Co-host Bruno, New Jersey. And we out.
It's kinda unethical or maybe hypocritical, but our connection illuminates our complexion. The feelings for you or how I adore you in silent moments. Nothing to it, just how I do. Even though I shouldn't have, I fall on the all over you. You choose to ignore you, to ignore you. Told you to
After talk. What's the haps? What's the scoop? What's going on? After talk. It's the after talk.